I'm Gypsy from Broken Dolly TV, and today I want to give this doll a makeover. I found her at Ross for a whole $4. The doll wasn't on the stand like this, standing up. She was like laying flat, so I nearly missed the deal. You can't beat $4 for a fashionista doll, okay? I don't have this head sculpt. I don't know what the sculpt is called. I'm not sure if it even has a name at this stage. Some people mistake her for Gia, but Gia is a slightly different looking sculpt. Her nose is a little bit more pointier, and the upper lip shape is a little bit more defined than this one. She's like a softer version of Gia. So I don't know what her name is, but whatever the case, we'll just call her Gia's little sister for now. Yeah, the way she comes, hate it. I do not think that she looks good like this. I don't like how any of the fashionista dolls come, to be honest, so it's not just her, but they're always like missing something. So I decided we need to give her a complete makeover, okay? So if you're wondering, this doll is fashionista 200, yes, you heard me right, 234. Okay, it's excessive. You have to look on the side for the teeny tiny little dolls that they have on the side to figure out which one you're trying to get. Yikers. Like the back of the box don't have the pictures on them anymore. I don't know. It seems like Mattel cannot make up their mind about how they want to package these damn dolls. And I'm shocked that they haven't discontinued the line by now, because we know how they are about keeping certain lines going. But I guess these are one of their best sellers. And they're cheap to make if you don't put any detail into the doll or their actual fashions, despite them being called fashionistas. So let's get her out of the box and see what we're working with. Okay, so we were taking a look at her straight out the box. She's not impressive to me. Just the way she's styled, she does not look like anybody that's stopping no traffic. Unless you're like, ew, where's that girl going looking like that? Then yeah, okay. So before we go more into their fashions, let's just look at the doll itself. So in my opinion, the best thing about this doll is going to be her face and her hair. The face is sadly pixelated, which a lot of the fashionistas and playline dolls right now are being printed like this. So there's really not much any of us can do about it, other than to complain, of course, or not buy the dolls. But when is that gonna happen? Barbie collectors are so addicted, like they don't care. They just can't resist. We're so forgiving. So this ain't going away no time soon. I think her screening is supposed to have her looking somewhat like an Asian person, because the sculpt itself, I think, was meant for an Asian kind of face. But I'm just speculating here only because that's how she looks to me. I think she can pass for other races as well, though. I see her as like a Hispanic face. She could be a white girl. I've met Native American girls who look similar to this, even with this light skin tone. And all kinds of mixed people, of course. Like, this would be a perfect sculpt to use for a girl who's, let's say, part Japanese and part white. There's versatility there. She's not just stuck looking like one ethnicity. Her hair seems to be rooted very well. Looks like a thick amount of hair, and I don't see a bunch of bald spots as I'm moving the hair around. And it looks like they did shade her scalp with this brown color. I just made a mess of her hair, but she be alright. You can kind of part the hair in different directions without worrying about too much scalp showing. And this is the usual rooting job that I would expect from a well-rooted Mattel doll. Does she have a middle part? I feel like she wants to have a middle part. What do you guys think? I think so. I think this is a middle part. So you can probably give her a real nice, sleek, straight look, and she'll look really pretty that way. I might try that. Maybe I'll do that with this doll. The hair is a win. And also, we can't forget that the hair is quite long. If you're prone to giving your dolls haircuts, this is a great option with this doll as well. You're not stuck with this length. If you want to try something else, you can braid it up. You can do all kinds of things with this hair. And it is the soft saran texture that we all like, that detangles very easily. So, like I said, the head is a winner. The rest of her is a little tragic. Like, this dress looks so baggy and shapeless. What is going on at Mattel? Sometimes I really be wondering, like, what is going on? What is the shame in, like, people just being feminine and masculine as they feel comfortable being? Why does everything have to be so androgynous these days? I don't understand it. You know, everybody's like, oh, don't shame this person because they're like this, they identify as that. That's fine, but like, it's almost like if you don't identify some ambiguous question mark, you can't be taken seriously as like a woman who just wants to be feminine. I'm not allowed to do that anymore? What is happening? This dress is hideous. Who would wear this? Why? Especially with this physique of the doll, the way she comes. I don't get it. Let's look at the clothes, okay? So obviously this very shapeless potato sacky dress that makes her look like she got it from the thrift store. This bright pink checkered, or what do you call this pattern? Gingham? I don't know exactly what it's called. It looks like a tablecloth, basically, like one of those mats that you put down when you're going on a picnic in like a nice park or something. Kind of reminds me of that. I don't like pink. That's my own personal thing, so I never gravitate towards dolls wearing pink. This is not a dress that I would really do anything with. I'll probably end up putting this dress on a doll that I'm gonna sell on eBay and get rid of it. But just for kicks, I do want to see how it looks on another doll. Maybe it's just her and her shape where it's just not complementing it very well. Ugh. And it does have a Velcro closure here at the neck, like a halter top. And then it's just stretchy here, so there's nothing keeping it closed in the back, which is fine. So I like the design of it. I don't know. It's like I want to like this. If it was a different shape, I think I would, but it just does not look good on her. This looks like something you wear when you're trying to hide a pregnancy from your parents because you're a teenager. Like, what is going on? She comes with a bracelet, which is shocking. Wow, thanks for the accessory. I would prefer for my dolls to come with earrings though, but I'll take the bracelet. It's not a special mold. We've seen this bracelet already a bajillion times in different colors, and I kind of want to say the same for the shoes, but I don't really know for sure because something about the little stubby heel in the back makes me think maybe we haven't seen these shoes a bunch of times because they're flats, but I don't remember if I have seen these exact mold of flats. I feel like I have these in black. They look very familiar to me, but I could be wrong. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments what you think. All right, so there's nothing else special about her. She has almost no articulation, blah, blah, blah. Let's just get on to giving her a new body, and like she needs to move on from this era of her life because it is a crisis. Thank you for waiting so patiently while I try to salvage this dress. So I tried to put it onto a curvy doll, but it just did not fit. Instead, I have Marin here, who's originally the Life in the Dreamhouse Midge Barbie. She is pulling it off. This print kind of reminded me of like reminds me of like a grandmom. So I tried to think, like, when grandmom was young, what would she have worn, you know? I just happened to notice that this doll has a Steffi sculpt, but a lot of people call her Midge because that's just the character that she's supposed to be. Steffi has a very classic oldies kind of a feel to the sculpt. So when I saw this doll, I was like, oh, maybe it might look okay on her. And with her light skin tone, the pink I think goes well on this color skin. And then I just paired it with a couple of other accessories. I gave her a bag. She's wearing like a belt around her dress to kind of break it up a little bit. There is a buckle on this belt, but I turned it to the back because I don't really want to see the buckle. But it's silver, so it would still match with the earrings that the doll already has on. And then she's got this hat on, kind of give her a little bit of flair, and her shoes. Her shoes are just some simple boot type shoe with a high heel. This doll has a high heeled foot, so she can't wear flat shoes. But overall, I think she's pulling off. So I might use this dress for something like this, so I don't have to completely just throw it in a garbage can. You know, maybe salvage this look somehow. And of course, it can be dressed up with other accessories and more layers, like a sweater on top, leggings underneath, something like that. I think the main problem was just the design of the dress. The shape itself is not flattering to any body type. So for me, wearing this with a belt just made the most sense. All right, let's move on to giving Gia's little sister her new body. Now for this lady, in my donor stash, I have two options. I can either go with this body, which is basically a articulated fashionistas body, it looks like. I think this is what they consider the original body or the GG body, but this one has high-heeled feet. So she's standing a little taller than the doll here with the flat feet. But she basically has the most basic joints for an articulated body. I would say like level 1. And this body originally came from the Agent Dana Scully X-Files doll. So that's what it looks like. This other option, this is for a Made to Move purple top yoga doll. Gee golly whiz, I did not even realize that I had one of these things with no head attached to it, just floating around in my donor stash. Shocked. This matches her decently, so I would be able to give her this body and she'd be fine and she'd have Made to Move articulation. But at the moment, I don't know if I want this doll to have Made to Move articulation, because I usually reserve that for like my favorite dolls, or the dolls that I really, really like a lot that I want to keep on display more often, or like dolls I want to pose in pictures and stuff. But for this doll, I don't really feel like that about her just yet. Maybe it's because I didn't give her a makeover properly and she's kind of like, you know, she look a little strung out. But we'll see, that can change. But for the meantime, instead of the Made to Move for her, although I know you guys are watching this going like, put her on the Made to Move body, because it's just so satisfying to see a doll able to move around. But I'm just gonna go with my gut and give her this other body, because I don't need her to have that high of a level of articulation, if you catch my drift. Yeah, so bye-bye. Purple top body can go back in the stash, and Miss Dana Scully's body is going to be used as our donor today. And you can see here that I do have both dolls with modified neck pegs, which I mark on the back like this so that I can tell that they are modified. So that way when the doll has a head on it, then I won't have to pull the head off to tell if it's been modified. I can just look on the back of the neck and give myself a signal for that. So that's just a little tip that I wanted to share with you guys. If you decide you're going to modify your dolls like I have been doing, which I have a tutorial for you on, you can definitely find the tutorial in the description box. And I already had a doll that I gave this name to, which is actually my aunt's name, one of my aunts in Korea. But I don't know whatever happened to that doll. I think I don't know where it is. I really don't know. The doll seems to be lost to me and I just can't remember whatever happened to it. Did I sell it? Like, I don't know. So I'm going to transfer that doll's name to this doll, and you can see here it says Soo-young Yi, which is very hard to read because it's blurry. Soo-young Lee, and that's one of my favoriteest aunts. All my aunts are my favorite aunts. Anyway, I'm gonna give her the name Soo-young, and that's what I'll call her from this point on. Alright, so here we have Soo-young, redressed, restyled, and I think she looks so much better. Finally, she looks like she's come to life instead of just being a dead statue. So the outfit pieces that I put together here are a little combination of this and that. The hat that she's got on, this little visor, and her necklace and pants all came from my Venus Williams doll right there in the background. And I got her top and shoes from a different set that I already reviewed here when I did the box opening of Venus Williams and Ruby Sunday back there. They're pieces that came from this fashion pack that I found on Amazon that came with 5 different outfits and a bunch of different mix and match stuff that was in there. The cool thing about these shoes is that they're very similar to the gladiator style shoes that we have from Mattel that we've seen many times, but they don't go up as far along the leg, and also they're designed for heeled feet. So even though they look like they're flat, you can see that the heel here, there's a little cutout that's shaped like a star. Not sure if that's picking up very well, but it's shaped like a star, and the shoe actually is meant for a high-heeled foot. So that means a lot of dolls can wear these. The way I got her hair nice and sleek like this was I actually did use heat to straighten it with a flat iron. So I just used a small flat iron set to one of the lower settings, and I wet the hair before I flatten it so that I don't burn it or melt it. That has worked for me, and I have been doing it like that ever since. Here's how she looks without the hat covering her hair. So she does have a middle part built into her rooting. You can style this hair in different directions. You don't have to leave it, parted in the middle, of course. But that, I just wanted to show you guys that was there already. I also pierced her ears and managed to get some little stud earrings in there. I think these are supposed to be like little cherries or something. I'm not sure. Maybe a flower. They don't match. The accessories don't match at all. I just wanted to put some earrings in her ears right away so that the hole will just kind of like open up. So those are like placeholder earrings. They're not really supposed to match the outfit. Whatevs. I think she looks so much better like this. Looking at her now all like redone, she has these cute little pink rosy cheeks, and this doll does have a pixel face, but it's not showing up obviously on camera, which is good because who wants that? So she should be fine for photographs. Also, to my naked eye, I can't really notice it too much. I have to get very close to the doll to be able to see the pixelation. She does have a more cartoony kind of a face. She's not gonna blend well with your dolls that have more realistic faces like Venus Williams back there, but that's just a little detail if that matters to you. To me, she looks like she could really pass for like a half Asian, half white girl, or like a half Asian and Hispanic girl, and even just not Asian at all. Like I can see her being something completely different. So I like the versatility of the sculpts that this particular screening of her, she can pass for many different races, and you can just, you know, pick and choose at your whim what you think she maybe looks like or what you want to represent in your collection. I'm a person who likes to represent diverse groups of people in my collection, so that matters to me. I don't like to have too many dolls that all look like part of the same like ethnic background, I guess. That's what I like to do with my dolls. But anyways, what do you guys think of Salvaging Fashionista number 224 with the mystery head sculpt that nobody knows the name of yet? If you watch this in the future and they do have a name for her, help us out and drop it in the comment section. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Gypsy, you're not, but that's okay. We can still be friends. Have a dolly day.